Right, good afternoon, ladies. Such a pleasure to have you guys here. Happy, Clara, Laure. Lovely to have you guys here. Thanks for joining the Inspire and Connect set. Let's just start off right into it. Tell us what you guys do, each of you.
Okay,
Happy? Start.
Okay, first of all, thank you for having me. My name is Happiness DAHER-EBHOHON, and I am based in Uganda. I am the general manager of the French Chamber of Uganda, and we became a chamber about 4 months ago. That's on the 22nd of June. And the transformation has been awesome because we have lots of people that become interested in joining the chamber because some of them know the advantages of becoming members. So currently in France, we have over $4 billion of French companies that have invested in the country, ranging from Total, AGL, etc. And the idea is to create as much job opportunities as possible, which is one of the reasons why I'm here. I've really enjoyed every single minute I've spent. Thank you, Laure, for inviting me. I mean, thank you so much. The French Week has been amazing and mind-blowing. So these are the ideas that which I'm hoping to take back to Uganda, and I've spoken to so many investors that could be interested in Uganda. So the idea is to see how we can build that market and have more French investors in Uganda, basically. Yeah.
So let's move to Laure, because you've obviously the Kenyan Chamber of Commerce has been a lot longer, and the representation has been here a lot longer. So what has your experience been with getting connections between Kenya and France, investments, access to money for Kenyan companies? Is that part of what you guys do here?
Yeah, totally, and thanks a lot for having us as well. So indeed, I'm the managing director of the French Chamber of Commerce in Kenya, and I started this position 4 years ago when I actually moved to Kenya, and it's been quite a roller coaster, this experience. So my daily job is basically to build those bridges, and bridges that are solid as possible between French and Kenyan businesses of all sizes and across all sectors. So my everyday is basically to provide a platform for the 220 member companies that we bring together at the French Chamber of Commerce. And I think when you are a Chamber of Commerce, you want to put networking in action and give your members as many opportunities as possible to meet each other first, and then to connect, to gain visibility, to showcase their expertise, with the final goal of helping them work together and grow your business. So yeah, my every day is a lot of talking, a lot of meetings, because believe me, if you're not a people-centric person, you cannot succeed in this market.
Clara, tell us a little bit about your role with Bpifrance and how it connects to the Chambers of Commerce.
Definitely. Thank you for having me. So I'm a senior development advisor at BPI, based in Ivory Coast, but I've also lived in Angola. I've grown up my whole life in Africa, so I'm very happy to participate in this Inspiring Connect. And it's kind of easy, like these two incredible women are creating bonds and partnerships, and I'm here to finance them, or to find a way to finance them. So BPI has a range of tools that can go from credit to funds of funds to being the French export credit agency. So we have a range of financial solutions, warranty solutions, to try to facilitate all that these networks that are being created between French and African states.
220 companies, is that mainly Kenyan companies, or is it a combination of Kenyan and French companies?
So actually it's 50-50. Yeah, you know, I think like to build those bridges, you have to build this multicultural community. We strongly believe that Kenya is a very different market. It's not a natural market traditionally for French companies, which is why it's super important for us to have this French DNA, but in Kenya, and be locally very strongly anchored in the local context.
So again, a question for all three of you. How do we build this more? How do you accelerate the growth? It's not easy to also find companies to invest in. There must have been lessons learned, fingers burnt at some point. How do you vet better? How do you expand better? How do you get more entrepreneurs involved from both countries, whether it's Uganda or Kenya or around the continent? give me some thoughts. Let's start with you, Abby.
Okay, that's a very, very good question. So first of all, what we do mainly is to have some of these investors or entrepreneurs, French entrepreneurs that are trying to invest in Africa, for me, Uganda, is for them to have a safe landing. So we talk about trying to come and invest, but we come and what do we do about it? How do we go about this? So we have members. Part of the members that we have are people that are lawyers, those that are into taxes, those that are into recruitment. So we make sure that by the time they are ready to come into the country, they have a safe landing. Everybody's happy. And then for the Ugandans, because we don't always want it to be a one-sided program, that every time they come, it has to be the French coming in. The Ugandans also are trying to get into the French business because it's a business partnership. It's all about networking. It's all about making money. So in general, businesses. So we try as much as possible to make them understand we're in the process of building a platform and prepare some of our Ugandans on a trip to France next year and see how they can understand some of the markets and meet some players in France on how they build their business and maybe encourage some partnerships. So that's what we do in general on my side.
So thank you very much for this question, because I think it's so important. And you know, I think we always talk about building those bridges, but what really matters for me, if I take a step back, is that I think we need to shift from this thinker mindset to a doer approach to make this happen. And for me, there are like really three essential actions that we can pursue. First is that we need to significantly increase the bilateral business exchange programs, and this is through what you mentioned, Happy, like bringing more also Kenyan companies to France, but also trying to build incubators, acceleration programs, organize sector-specific networking events. And this leads me to my second point, which is increase mentorship programs, building capacities and coaching programs. And finally, what we try to do is policy advocacy, you know, because I think we need to create always more awareness and, more importantly, make sure that those entrepreneurs can access credit, can access funding, because at the end of the day, I want to bet that those entrepreneurs are tomorrow's leaders.
Clara, how do you hold them accountable as a bank?
Actually, I would just add that I'm so happy to be sharing this with Chamber of Commerce because they have a great network locally. They know very well the French companies, for example, that are established. How can we bring more? Well, BPI, our job is to finance French economy. So we have almost all French companies in our portfolio. So how can we bring this network to your actions? In either way, Kenyan to France that maybe want to invest in that way, how can we make them meet with final clients and then access to all the tools that we have at BPI and in the end become also a French company, and the other way around, how can we bring more and more French companies and get involved in industry, agriculture, everything that we have been discussed this morning in the panels.
Accountability. How do you hold companies accountable when you give them assistance? How do you make sure that the money that you're investing, if you are providing finance, or the expertise or the time that you're investing is repaid? Do you ask those companies to give back as well as part of the process and part of the collaboration?
You mean when we do debt, for example? Actually, all the actions we do are with French government warranty. So actually what we're asking is for a long-term partnership with the French counterparts. That's all we're asking. And we really need the chambers to help us find the best partners for these French counterparts. And the other way around, we will make sure the Kenyans can find the best partners could be for joint venture, for exporting, for whatever. So that's our job.
Do you ask companies that you help and connect to, like I said, give back afterwards? Say they become super successful, we hope multi-million euro companies. Do they also have to contribute back to helping other companies also be part of that journey and become successful? Do you encourage that?
Okay, I mean, you are way more advanced. You've been in this for 4 years, and this is kind of new to me, but what I know about companies, no matter how small it is or when they get into different levels, they always have CSR programs. And these CSR programs, they're obliged to use them. And most of these ideas are based on the experiences that they've had over time. So the idea is we take and then we give back. So the idea of whatever we're doing, we always need to make sure that we put that in, we implement the idea of giving back through the CSRs. Because there's so many young people, there's so many people with great ideas that are also looking for these opportunities. And by encouraging and supporting small ones that have gotten bigger, the idea is to see how they also can be of help. So we are just going to help as much as possible all through the process. That's why we're here for them, basically.
Ladies, I would love to continue this conversation, but we've run out of time. 10 minutes goes by too fast. Do you want to add to that quickly, Laura?
No, I think I totally agree with what Happiness said on the CSR part. I think, this is a very competitive market. And I think that one of our big competitive advantage are progressive HR policies, attention given to the people that you hire in a company, CSR, and the willingness to make a long-term impact. So obviously, we also hold our member companies accountable to those guiding principles.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
That was amazing.
Continue to inspire. Thank you so much.
Thank you.